What's up, everybody? So we are playing a silly deck today. I've had a little deck list incomplete on Hearthstone for a long time, and it had Searing Reflection and a couple other things in it. And every now and then I'd be like, this could be okay, so I'd throw it in there. And one day I was like, wait a second, um, and it just kind of hit me, and here we are. So you've been warned. Basically, Searing Reflection and Colifero are the main two ways to cheat something into play. Um, the main things to cheat into play are the normal stuff like Ragnaros, Tyrion, Ziliax, and then I had to get a little cute to make sure that these things were good enough to be able to actually have an effect on the game. So, um, Factory Assembly Bot is cool because, I mean, multiples of that off of a Colifero is just ridiculous. Briar Spawn Drake, not super great by itself, but, getting multiples is obviously great. And it's one way to actually finish the game. These two can finish the game fairly quickly because if they've got no board, obviously Factory Assembly Bot can just hit their face. Briar Spawn can help clear some minions out of the way and hit their face with the excess damage. Ziliax is Ziliax. Easy. Um, Scorching Observer, it was fun. The rush lifesteal aspect can help kind of salvage some games that are in a difficult spot. And then same thing, Tyrion Ragnaros. Like the dream Colifero is Ragnaros, Factory Assembly Bot, and sometimes Briar Spawn Drake. Now there have been times I Coliferoed one time, got two Nomelia, and cleared somebody's whole board. And I'm talking it was like six sixes and above. So Nomelia is just a must have. But other than that, the only other creatures are Blob of Tar. Or minions, excuse me. Sorry, magic terms. Been playing off and on for 20 years. Old habits die hard. But otherwise, the deck is basically just removal and card draw. So a quality consecration, obviously. Flash of Light, not a very good card, but it draws a card and it helps you in those early turns. Hammer of Wrath, again, draws a card and does some damage to get something out of the way. Mend the Timeline, gaining you some life and giving you a little bit of card advantage. And there's a bunch of holy spells, so holy glow sticks just felt correct. Lifesteal 4 to a minion for 1 mana is surprisingly good. Who would have thought? And then past that, vacation planning draws 2 cards, gives you some health, and makes Silverhand recruits. And that's one of the things outside of Blob of Tar that helps power up the board for Colifero. So there are some times where I'll go like vacation planning, hero power, I'll have the tokens off of Blobatar, and then Colifero will just turn them all into something big. So otherwise, I'm not really gonna beat the deck up too much. Chronological Aura is just fantastic, and it does help power up Colifero sometimes. But for the most part, it just gives me something that gets in the way because I pretty much want to get to ideally turn 6 coin Searing Reflection. So you're drawing a big guy and getting a copy. Hopefully, it's doing something that turn. But there's been times where you Colifero into multiple Ragnaros, or even just Searing Reflection on turn 6 into Ragnaros is pretty awesome. So this deck is hot garbage, but it's a fun hot garbage, and believe it or not, I've won games with it. So yeah, the initial stream that I did on Twitch with this was a lot of fun. It was a lot of like, okay, this card doesn't work, let's go back and do this. And I did want to use Living Flame. That's my homie. I love Living Flame because it gets a fire spell from your deck. And guess what Searing Reflection is? But you don't want to get, 4 living flames off of a Colifero. So I had to cut it, but I do want to try a version with it just to see, because say you Searing Reflection into a living flame, then you at least know another Searing Reflection is coming, and it's an 8/8 with Divine Shield. So that's enough of me, beating Explanation to death. Let me show you what this thing is capable of, or just, yeah, let's have some fun, regardless of if we win or not. I think the initial games that I played were, I mean, the first 4 were like real bad. It was just like 0-4, but that was still while fine tuning and figuring out what the right threats were to have. So once I figured out the correct threats, the deck got significantly better. Because one of the things that most people don't anticipate is I can gain like up to like 60 life in a game. So, the aggro decks, Demon Hunter, Murlocs, you know, sometimes Death Knight, Rogue, stuff like that, they have a hard time because they run out of gas. I've even had Mage players that ran out of gas. And against Control, it is totally fine if they want to sit there. Now, Warrior can be tough because if they're playing the quest and they get the quest rewards for surviving 10 turns, they just restock their deck with stuff that's way more powerful than me. So they don't actually run out of gas. So that is a pretty rough matchup unless I can produce threats quickly. But I'm actually not unhappy with the way that it plays against most things so far. So let's see how it does against this Mage. And the early turns are pretty boring, honestly. You're just sitting around, kill something, gain some life, draw some cards. A lot of nothing. But it's pretty low stress also. That's the thing I think the most is you just kind of sit here and then eventually you're like, what do you feel about a 7/9? Can you answer that? Okay, how about a bigger guy? So it's a very interesting change of pace from the standard metagame right now, and I think it's something that the metagame doesn't expect, which is always nice, because if you can hit them with something that they didn't expect, then they don't know how to answer, and it's not a deck that's common at all. I've literally never seen someone play Searing Reflection. So it is a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, we just kind of sit here and do silly things for a while.
Remember this place well.
And if you haven't heard me say it a million times before, definitely check out Daily Hip Hop. Been curating that playlist for like a decade now. Literally every day, 20 new songs on there. Okay, I feel like I gotta start doing some things now. I think Chronological Aura is just fine. Yeah, this is probably going to be my new series. I was doing the Grime Street, like the hand pump aggro deck for Paladin for a while. I'm infatuated with Paladin. I think it's a great class that doesn't get enough credit. Thankfully, Aura Paladin is getting a lot of attention right now. Not necessarily the best deck, but it's got a huge toolbox with all the Paladin minions, and the auras are pretty decent. So I think this is going to be the new series, because Grime Street's gone about, I think I've made about 5 videos on that, and it's not tier 1 at all. It was a fun brew, but this is much better. Not sure if I want to use an Amelia here. That's the thing, like, when you can use something in this deck, you just usually use it. It's a very low-stress kind of thing. Like, there's obviously right and wrong plays, but for the most part, there aren't very many wrong plays with this deck. Yeah, Consecration's just better, I think. Gives me a little bit of time. A quality Consecration is nice to have, but in the early games, if you can get 2-for-1s, 3-for-1s off of stuff, that's just fantastic. Or at the very least, you're also matching their 2-for-1s, because like they got the 3-2-1s off of one thing. You know, this. They got Elise and the location. That's a 2-for-1. They got the Zealot off of something else and drawing cards. So it's like you're kind of, you know, turning their 2-for-1s into 1-for-1s with your 2-for-1s, if that makes any sense. Okay, this is a decent spot. Let's do this and see what we get. Could have done it there, but I don't really care that much. Glow sticks is cool too. I don't think there's any need to really play much, though. Like, we're going to get another dragon at the end of the turn. Yeah, we chilling. And I think this is also a deck that's very easy to underestimate. Like, people are just like, oh, you're playing some nonsense. Like, it looks like a bad Aura Paladin deck at first. You know, I'm playing Flash of Light on myself. Like, usually no self-respecting player is playing something like Flash of Light. And if you don't draw Searing Reflection, you just start dropping big guys and see if they can answer them. Like, that's a curve. 8 to 9 or 9 and 10. I'm definitely holding Ziliax for later, but there's so many options with this. There are very few things that I think other people can do that I can't answer also, which is a good feeling. That's part of why it's such a low-stress deck to play. I gotta come up with a good name, though. Searing Colifero just doesn't have, you know, a buzz to it. Alright, they're gonna take 8. That's nice. I mean, they're at 53, but... yeah, I think we just do this and this. Yeah, Mend the Timeline can be pretty good. The rewind is fantastic, but the life gain plus getting 2 spells can drastically alter the game. Thank you for the weapon. Cool. Now, you do got to be careful, because Mage does play the, what is it, deal damage to your enemies twice thing, which is not fun. The Templar, I think it is. Now, that can take me out as just a one-shot, so got to make sure I apply pressure, and sometimes you can get him to use those Templars just to clear your board without being able to kill you, which is awesome. I think this guy's fantastic here. So they'll take 8 off of that and 5 off of the weapon. Yeah, nothing else is really feeling that great. Only complaint against this guy I have is 7 is not a very big butt. 7 on the backside is a lot easier to kill than many other 10 drops. As evidenced by that. What to do here? I think I should be drawing some cards so I can get, like, out of the 15 cards I've drawn so far, I haven't seen a single Searing Reflection or the Colifero. So I think drawing some cards would help me here. That'll take me up to 10 cards. Well, there's a Searing Reflection for next turn. I think Chronological Aura is fine. So drawing a Colifero would be great. Having dudes on the board when that happens is the best. Usually the momentum you make by having 3 or more guys on the board when you play Colifero is just... it's so hard to come back from. Ooh, looks like I might be dying. 8 twice, okay, so 16. You got another Templar? There we go. Alright, that's the way it goes. Yeah, that Mage deck with the Templars and the Control Warrior deck with the Quest are probably the 2 hardest to beat with this, because I'm basically giving them time to sit around and assemble their combo. And that's part of why I've been playing the deck a bunch lately, because I want to figure out what the best threats are so that I can apply maximum pressure efficiently also. Because going 8 drop, 9 drop, 10 drop, sure, it's good and all, but like, there's enough removal spells, there's enough powerful things in the format that most people can handle just a single threat at a time. Within reason, of course. Warrior, okay. Not the greatest starting hand, but it doesn't really matter until about turn 4 or 5. There's the quest. Alright, so this could be tough. There's definitely still a chance, especially with Searing Reflection coming down on turn 7. Something I've been surprised about in this metagame is how often I can just hero power and just not really be stressed by what the opponent is doing. Like, there's been a lot of times where it's just like turn 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just hero power, hero power, hero power, poking for 1 every now and then. And against decks like Death Knight or even sometimes Demon Hunter or Murlocs, they'll just start killing the 1/1s like they matter, which surprises me every time. So, Chronological Aura next turn, unless something crazy happens, in which case I have, like, you know, quality glow sticks, etc. I love that it also doesn't give them much information to work off of if I'm just like, hero power. Yeah, if you can't tell, I'm very excited about this deck. It's something I've been pondering for a long time and just never never really found the tools until now to make. So it's always fun for something like that to come to fruition. When I played, you know, Magic the Gathering in my, like, I used to play competitively a lot, and one of my favorite things was deck building. And if you're familiar with Magic the Gathering, I play the Legacy format quite a bit. And something I loved about Legacy is that you could, the format was big enough, with a big enough card pool, that you could actually brew up some interesting decks that could kind of take a metagame and force it to adapt to something new that it wasn't anticipating. So that's something I've always been a big fan of, is just trying to figure out where the holes are in the metagame and, you know, what I can do to take advantage of those holes. But yeah. Yeah, I think I'm just chilling. If they want to spend resources to deal 2 to everybody, that's fine by me. It is unfortunate that they just nerfed the combo rogue deck, the Sandbox Scoundrel. Because rogue is one of my favorite matchups with this. I can very easily just cause them to lose steam. Now that the Sandbox is... what did they get? Tyrion? Who cares? Yeah, I think we just Searing Reflection here. Trying to think if anything else is better. I could Consecration, take out their team. Not the greatest. And I've got Colifero to follow up, but no minions to do so with, except for the dragon I would get next turn, assuming it lives. So I think Searing Reflection is the way to go. Alright, not bad. And I'm going to do that. So now they can't pop this guy on their turn, otherwise their own guy dies. So I'm trying to think of what threats I still have in the deck. There's still a Briar Spawn, a Factory Assembly bot. There's still a Blob of Tar. There's the 7/9 with Lifesteal Rush. There's Nomelia. What else? What else? Tyrion's gone. So there's still some targets. Alright, no more factory. But I have 3 guys, so I'm going to do this. And then let's hit them. And then Colifero, because why not? So, not very good, because if I pop this, he kills everybody else. And sure, they'll take 6 to the face, but that's just not very good. And I got 10 cards, so I'm going to burn a card next turn. But what are you going to do, I guess? Yeah, I don't think I can justify hitting their guy. It's just going to clear my board except for Colifero. 6 to the face is like nothing. Plus, that's going to trigger for the first 2. So they're really only going to take 2. If I don't attack, then they kill 1, and then that kills all of them. Yeah, that's just bad all around. Nomelia is normally much better, but in this instance, this guy is just raining on our parade. Womp womp. So if they don't play any guys, then I'm just gonna Ragnaros and pass probably.
My hand is too full.
Yeah, something that I want to put in this deck that I don't have is Krog. He's the guy that at the end of your turn, it makes all your opponents do 1/1s. That would be pretty dope. It's just a decent big drop to play in any deck where you want big guys, but in this it would be amazing. Cheating that out would be awesome. There's other stuff that I've thought about playing, like there's the dragon that everybody's maximum mana goes up to, what, 15 or whatever it is. That could be okay, but it's not a very good like Colifero target. I think it's what, like a 4/12, something like that. I don't remember exactly. But it would definitely give me more mana, because then I can like do other things and a 10 drop, or like, you know, there are times where my opponent has had that card, so because I have extra mana, then I can do like chronological aura and other thing, or like, what's the spell? The spell that makes 3 1/1s and then Colifero using them. I think we just Factory Assembly bot, and then I get the mini for next turn. I'm going to have to burn a card off of that, because I'm at 10 cards, though, is the problem. I guess it's fine. I think the only hope I have against Warrior's quest going off... That's fair. The only hope I have against the quest going off is, like, you know, keeping equality, consecration, stuff like that. Eesh. Lost another big one. That's unfortunate. I think this guy's okay. I don't think I waste a quality consecration here. Like, Holy Glow Sticks could help. Yeah, I don't want to use the consecration, but I kind of feel like I should. You know what I can do? Let's do this. Just to make it cost less. I get a flashlight, sure. I don't really care. I don't need the life or anything. And then I'll go this. Sure, you gain no life. Let's do this. You gain no life. And then I think we just mini... 12 cards to their 14. Yeah, I'm not in a rush to play anything else. This will give me two guys. Or no, that one, that's just a copy bot. So this will give me a guy that'll then attack. So getting them to 20 is definitely something. This guy would deal 4 to them, but he is going to die.
Let me think.
I guess that's not the worst. It puts him down to 10 with this attack. Yeah, I just got to keep the pressure on so that they don't have the chance to actually catch back up. I've thought about putting a Nacronos in the deck. But he doesn't really do anything if I cheat him in with Searing Reflection or Colifero. It would just be one way to help clear the board, but I haven't been in a position where I felt like I needed an extra way to clear the board. Like, I've done fine otherwise. I think I've still got 2 hammers in the deck, so that may be one way to help close out the game. I think at this point this is decent. Only 8 cards left. I think I've only played 1 Searing Reflection, and already played the Colifero. I think that's fine. Just gonna pray that they don't have just the ridiculous quest rewards right now. Hopefully it'll take them time to get some momentum and find them. That's fair. Freeze my guys. Wow. That was very low odds to do that, but that works. I believe they've used 2 brawls, so I'm probably safe there. I try not to overextend against Warrior because of that. 7 cards. Let's see what this gives me. Ay, ay, ay. Wow.
Reporting for duty.
So representing lethal. No rush? Okay. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I've still got lethal on board. Plus consecration. And there should be 2 hammers out of the last 5 cards, I believe. There it is. They're down to 7. I just need 4 more damage somewhere. Consecration is 2. So let's do this. There we go. Alright, 1-1 after 2 games. Beat the Quest Warrior. Can't believe those hammers were in the bottom 4 cards. I could have closed out the game way faster with those like 2 turns ago. Now, real quick, something I need to be better at is keeping track of the threats in the deck, so I'm just going to double check. Blob of Tar, Nomelia, Colifero, Ragnaros, Scorching Overseer, and then, cool, alright, I got everything. Yes, it reminds me of playing the Demon Hunter Cliff Dive deck, where if you don't know what you're trying to get with it, then it can significantly impact when playing the spell is effective or not. So, like, that would have been, that's very effective against decks like the Quest Warrior, because you got to know what you're trying to get, or at least like what you're most likely to get. Because if all you got left is like Colifero and Blob of Tar, I'm not playing Searing Reflection, you know.
This is the Thunder King! I am the slayer of kings and gods.
Okay, so since I have the coin, I'm keeping the Searing Reflection for turn 6. Shaman is actually not a bad matchup. It's a very strong deck, and it's all over the ladder right now. Blob of Tar is fine against them. I'm tempted to throw back the Vacation Planning, though. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna keep this, partly also because I'm gonna be drawing, you know, about 6 cards between now and turn 6 when I play Searing Reflection. I want to keep the most chance that I'll have big guys in the deck. So if I mulligan away more cards, then it's more chance for me to get a big guy, which I then don't get off of Searing Reflection. So gonna keep my options open there. Not sure if it's a great keep against Shaman, but doesn't hurt that much. Yeah, this is normally just what I want every time I Searing Reflection or Colifero. Yeah, Ragnaros, Factory Assembly Bot, Briar Spawn, they're the main ways to just finish the game quickly. Yeah, we chillin'.
Reporting for duty.
Turbulus is great early for them. Yeah, turn 3 Turbulus is awesome. Still chillin'.
Reporting for duty.
I'm not sure if this is completely true, but I have the suspicion that not doing much in the early turns and just like hero power pass I think it gives my opponent an extra reason to overextend. I'm not sure. I haven't had enough games to be able to test this theory enough. But I think it could incentivize some players to be like, oh, I'm playing a bad player, therefore I should just get this over with. Like, the easier I can overwhelm them, the faster they will concede. And again, not completely sure if that's true, but that is one of my suspicions. And that makes it easier to let them run into, like, Nomelia, Equality Consecration, all that type of stuff. Okay, so I think I might just double Flash of Light here. Because that gives me a little bit more health to work with going into turn 6 Searing Reflection. Turn 6 Searing and then turn 7 Searing. That's... Alright, that's fun. Alright. Alright, let's see what happens. Yeah, the 9-10 is not great, but it's fine. Alright. Now I got Ziliax for turn 9. So I'll probably go turn 7, turn 8, unless they do something I need to answer, in which case I do have, like, Equality, Hammer. I can gain a bunch of life with Mend the Timeline. Jeez. That's a big boy. So taking 9, but not really worried. Consecration off the top would be amazing here. Not Consecration. Come on, dude. So I can go Equality, Hammer, and have 2 left. I think Searing Reflection might backfire, because I've got double Briar Spawn, double Factory Assembly, Tyrion, Colifero, Nomelia left in the deck. Briar Spawn would kill something. Factory Assembly bot could kill just the middle guy. Colifero wouldn't do anything, and Nomelia doesn't... well, Nomelia as an 8/8 would clear 2 of them. So 2, 3, Yeah, I'm just gonna go for it. Okay, Tyrion works too. I'm still gonna take some damage here. I assume they'll have some kind of spell to get rid of him. But this is a pretty tough spot. I could have gone Blob of Tar, Mend the Timeline, but yeah, there we go. So we just dead. Yeah, I don't know that there's many other ways to play that turn successfully. Because, yeah, those are some big boys. Like, the 9-10 into 2 11-12s is very difficult to beat no matter what you're playing. What else? 2, 5, 7, yeah. I don't think... So, yeah, Blob of Tar wouldn't have... Let's see, 12, 10... Blob of Tar, Mend the Timeline was probably the better play. I mean, knowing they have Ziliax, that would have... 1, 2... Boom, boom. No, I still would have taken a bunch. I still would have taken... Yeah, about 30. So I don't think there was a way in my hand to actually get through that. Another warrior. Double Searing Reflection. Alright, so I don't think I can keep this. I kind of want to keep one. I think we'll keep one. Just for shits and giggles. Alright, that's good. Alright. Never thought I'd be happy to see Flash of Light in my opening hand. Quality Consecration, great to have, but they are a warrior. They could be dragons. Yep, it looks like they are dragons. Yeah, the dragon matchup is not that bad. The Blood Fighters can be annoying, assuming they're playing them. I think most of the good Dragon Warrior decks are playing them.
Proportions look good.
And doesn't he pump himself? Yeah, random friendly damage minion. So that's 5. I don't think I care that much.
Reporting for duty.
Do I hit his guy? I mean, I guess so, sure. He's giving himself +2/+2 a turn. Might have to end up equalitying. I don't want to use it for one guy, obviously. But if they play a couple other things, it could have some extra value in that way. I think I'm just going to do this. See if I can gain about 8 life. 3 is not going to cut it. Give me something bigger. Okay, that's pretty good, and then I can play 1. Unfortunately, I can't kill that guy. So I think I just hold those and kill it next turn. I'll take 7, but I'll regain it off of both of those. I mean, they could use this also, which means I'm going to take 9. Yeah, it's pretty good. Turn 4, they got a 7/6 that's trying to beat my face in. And I do want to be at a decent life total when I cast Searing Reflection, because the worst is when you cast it and, you know, you're doing the cool thing. But it just doesn't matter because you're dead anyway. Gotta do something, buddy.
Looks like we've got a fight for the ages.
Okay. So, Flash of Light, double glow sticks maybe? Into a hammer, cool. I'm gonna hit this guy. And then we're just gonna go glow stick, glow stick.
These are due back tomorrow.
The menagerie is for guests only.
Curator is pretty cool.
For justice.
Ooh. think Flash of Light is probably better here. How many cards? 8 cards. I'll go to 9 with this. Let's actually do that. Yeah, believe it or not, I think I'm going to keep that. I don't know that I'm going to play the Libram, because drawing 2 minions would make this a little tougher, but once I get through, like, you know, Searing Reflection, or maybe the second Searing Reflection, or if I draw a Colifero, then I might play it, just to keep a stream of big guys coming, you know, should I run out of them. I mean, like, half the deck almost is, what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10... 30% of the deck. 10 cards are 6 or more, most of them being 8 or more. Eesh. I guess let's do this. Into Rag. Okay, well, he's probably gonna die. I assume they'll just go bonk bonk. But I can't just follow up with another one the next turn? Ah, good old blood fighters, okay.
My hand is too full.
Fingers crossed it doesn't hit the blood fighter, but it's a 50-50. Cool. I would assume they're just going to location, kill it, get another blood fighter out. Yeah, I'm under the assumption that nobody plays a blood fighter without having more in their hand. That is better than taking it to the dome. Fabled Rush, alright. So problem here is, if I Quality Consecration, they probably just have another one. I do have Flash of Light to gain a little bit of life, but... Wow. So as much as I want a Searing Reflection, I do think I got a Quality Consecration, sadly. I think first I should see what I get off a Flash of Light, maybe? What do I got left? Ziliax, Briar Spawn. So Briar Spawn could kill it, but it could also just hit the 3/3. And then I'm sure there are ways that they could kill me. There are also Blob of Tar in the deck, which... it is something. Let's do this first, see what I draw. Okay, there's a blob. Yeah, I think I kind of gotta do this, sadly.
For justice.
Good, no more blood fighters. Excellent. That makes the follow-up of Factory Assembly Bot way better. So maybe Searing Reflection would have been fine, but that would have given them time on their turn to be able to possibly play something to get it out of the way and maybe even kill me. Yeah, one of the minions I was considering for this was Beached Whale. It's it's like 7 mana. I think it's like a 4/20, 5/20, something like that. And then when it Battle Cry is deal 10 damage to itself. So that off of Colifero would be just a bunch of 5/20s. Ooh, good timing for Ziliax, actually.
For justice.
What horror will hatch?
That's fair. Alright, I expected them to do that sometime. So now Factory Assembly Bot is probably just the play. Assuming they don't do anything busted. Like, okay. I don't know how many Blood Fighters there are. Eesh. If there's more, then that's really bad. But I'm not super worried about it. Can just do this. Let's see if there's more. Wah wah. One of my favorite things about this deck is that when I beat people, I can't imagine the tilt that puts them on. Like, imagine losing to some Searing Reflection hunk of junk that gained like 50 life during the game, and you're just like, but I'm playing a good deck. Yeah, one of the big downsides of this deck too is it takes a while. This is the 4th game, and we're going on almost an hour. Let's see, is there a way to kill them?
Let me think.
I could just play a bunch of guys. Chronological Aura, Vacation Planning. Or maybe... I could go Blob, Vacation Planning, Hero Power? I mean, this guy's going to deal damage to a bunch of guys, though, is the problem. Yeah, these are 6/7, so that would still take them out, but it could kill them this turn. So if that hits their face, then I just win. I think that's the best shot I've got. Alright. And I can just follow up with more of them, so I've got another one next turn, and then I can do 2 the following turn with the minis. So I've still got 2 Briar Spawn, Colifero, Nomelia, and 1 Blob of Tar in the deck. So that's... So there's a 40% chance I could hit a Briar Spawn, which pretty much anything it hits would deal excess damage enough to kill them. That's fair, okay. Wow, they didn't kill that guy. So that'll clear 2 guys. I can use this to hit that and clear another. Then I can go mini factory assembly bot. I get 2 guys that hopefully will hit their face, I guess, and this will do 2 to them. So okay, that seems like the best shot to win this. This hits this, and this here. Sure. Alright, do we win? We win. Got him. Alright, 2 and 2. Alright, last one, guys. This is taking way too long. This deck is a lot of fun, though, so the time passes by pretty quickly for me when playing it. So I've beaten Warrior twice, lost to Shaman, lost to Mage. Shaman is not a very bad matchup. I mean, I think that guy had a very good draw with the 9-10 and the 11-12s or 12-10s or whatever it was. I think it was 11-12s. Okay, let's go, Mr. Druid.
I will fight with honor.
Nice, we got turn 6 Searing Reflection. Into turn 7, so I'm probably going to go 4, 5, 6, 7, something like that.
Reporting for duty.
Colifero along the way would be amazing too.
Reporting for duty.
The battle.
Stop and smell the flowers. Stop and smell the flowers.
Yeah, I don't think that changes the plan really at all. Wow. Do I really want to give them a Searing Reflection? Okay, timeout. You know what, let's have a crazy game.
I cannot thank you enough.
Cool. Factory assembly bot's nice. So let's go that. And this. Cool, nice to get rid of Ziliax.
My hand is too full.
Sweet.
I remember this place well.
Let's run it again. Ah, okay, but at least I can play it next turn. I've also got 10 cards, so let's get rid of that. And we'll get another 3/5 at the end of turn. So I'm going to do a bunch of attacks and then play Colifero. And hopefully turn things into something crazy. Like, let's see. I've got one factory assembly, one Briar Spawn. So there's a Briar Spawn, a factory assembly, Tyrion, Nomelia, Ragnaros, and a Blob. So I think any of those I'm fine with turning my whole board into them. No more Blob, that's even better. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think I can justify attacks with anything but this. But then let's go like this, and we're gonna get 5 guys. Rag? Oh, wow. Okay, so I only get one of them. That's a must-answer board, if I've ever seen one.
Fill the skies with a cascade of sparkles.
I'm surprised they'd kill Colifero and not a assembly bot. But whatever floats your boat, buddy.
Let me think.
So I can make 3 guys off of this, so I think... Let's do that. And this.
I must move quickly.
course you're gonna freeze, sure. Consecration off the top would be amazing. Hammer's okay. So let's get rid of that. There it is. And they're gonna take 18. That's how we do it. So that is Searing, Colifero, Paladin. 3-2 after 5 games. Lost to Shaman and Templar Mage. Yeah, this deck's a lot of fun. It feels kind of like a trolling deck, but it's essentially just like a silly combo semi-control deck. Like, for the most part, you don't care what they're doing. You just start gaining some life and find your way to turn 6 or 7, and then everything after that is usually just bombs or answers to stuff. So I like it a lot. I'm definitely going to be fine-tuning it a little bit more. So yeah, check out the rest of the series as it comes out. This will be part 1 of, I'm sure, many. So yeah, check out the Twitch if you're watching on YouTube, and check out the YouTube if you're watching on Twitch. Same handle on both. Got a lot of videos on YouTube with standard stuff, quite a bit of battlegrounds as well, and I'm gonna be just keeping the steady stream of videos coming, dropping a video basically every day of random stuff. This will be one of the series, but I do also play serious decks. So if you want to see some some real things, like I just dropped a video with the updated Demon Hunter pain list, which has like the Perennial Serpent and some of the newer cards from across the timeways. Every now and then I'll play Murlocs just to make sure I'm in tune with that deck. Yeah, peace and love, guys. Thanks for watching.